The next food group we're going to talk about is vegetables. So vegetables are divided into 5 subgroups. So we've got starchy or root vegetables. So starchy vegetables are going to include stuff like corn, root veggies like potatoes, sweet potatoes, beets. Then we've got the red and orange vegetables, so things like carrots, tomatoes, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, stuff like that. Green leafy vegetables, we've got some kale here, some leafy greens. Green vegetables also includes stuff like the cruciferous vegetables, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower even. We got beans and peas. So beans and peas are something, we talked about them in our protein group, but so beans, peas, and lentils. We got some dried, we got some cans. Those are something that can either kind of count towards your protein intake or count as a vegetable serving. And then lastly, there's just kind of an other catch-all groups that includes stuff like onions, garlic, leeks, stuff like that. So just like with fruits, vegetables can be consumed fresh, frozen, canned. So we've got a variety of foods from different forms. If you're choosing to do like a canned bean, this one we got no salt added, so there's no extra salt added in there anyway. But if you were doing something like corn or green beans, usually there's some sodium in there, so there's drained 210 milligrams. Then you could also rinse it, and that would take off about 40% of the salt in that can. And same thing for stuff like green beans, black beans, pinto beans, that kind of thing. Frozen veggies can be a great option to just have some extra stuff on hand, especially if the texture is less important of what you're eating. So like this is a good way to get some cauliflower that you can maybe have on hand, but you don't want to eat it right away. That's good. A lot of times, like places like Kroger, these will be pretty inexpensive, maybe like $1 for the package. One other option, if you're thinking about kind of building up like a stash, emergency food kind of prep type stuff, is using like potato flakes. So these are instant mashed potatoes, and the ingredient is just dehydrated potato. So there's not any salt or flavoring or anything added, but can keep those in the cupboard instead of using fresh, and still pretty nutritious food. It's not gonna have much fiber in it, only 1 gram of fiber, so you probably get more fiber from that like fresh potato where you have the peel on it, but kind of a good option to have in your arsenal as far as like just different forms of the same thing, so you're not worried about like your potatoes growing little eyes and going bad. Definitely want to have stuff like onions and garlic on hand for flavor. Also, don't forget that they provide a lot of antioxidants and are good, healthy foods as well. So they're not just, an extra, but they count as a vegetable and can add a lot of depth to the food that you cook at home. If you're doing stuff like greens, I've got some mixed greens here, so usually try and eat those within a couple days of getting them because they wilt faster. Hardier greens, like maybe something like a kale or collards, will last a little bit longer than something like the salad greens or spinach, which you really want to start eating within the first couple days. So maybe kale might be something that you eat at the end of the week for your leafy greens, or even something like broccoli or zucchini, those things that last a little bit longer, and some of the more delicate things you want to eat faster.